Welcome to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. I'm Gina.
And I'm Julia.
We are two ride-or-die best friends who are paving the path for what true, authentic relationships look like.
We're facing hardships head-on, having real, uncensored conversations, supporting each other's growth, and shining a light on true, raw healing.
We are navigating the world the best we know how.
Having a hell of a time doing it.
Laughing every step of the way.
Through the rain
and sunshine.
This is Canyon Culture.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Summit Sisters. We're in winter coats.
I'm not ready.
No. It is almost November though, so we did pretty good.
We did so good.
But it's getting cold, so let's dive right into today's topic, which is a lovely thing we like to call body dysmorphia.
Yay!
Yay! So fun. But you and I have very different body types.
Mm-hmm.
We both, in general, eat really healthy. We're both quite active, and we look nothing alike.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Did you know that science says that 9 out of 10 women will deal with some kind of body dysmorphia?
Yes, because women don't get to have peace anywhere.
That's bullshit. I just made that up, by the way.
That was so convincing. I was like, absolutely, I believe it. You can tell me anything. I'd be like, my best friend told me this, and so it's true.
It could be true. I'm not sure. I just want to see if I can get away with it.
Absolutely. This is the problem. Either I think that you're just the smartest person I know, or we're both that delusional. I'm like, of course it's true.
Honestly, either way, I'm happy.
And that's the goal.
But in reality, more than not, women struggle with it no matter what their body type looks like.
Which I think is really interesting, which is I love that you and I have such different body types, and yet we both deal with body stuff. So why don't you start with what that's like for you? I guess I don't really know the full definition of body dysmorphia. Do you feel like you have that, or do you just have body image problems? Where do you think you lie in the spectrum?
I don't think I have body dysmorphia per se, but I've definitely struggled with my body throughout the years.
Okay.
So before I had babies, I always felt like I had just a little girl's body, not a woman's body. Not curvy, I was super skinny.
And how tall are you?
Almost 5'4".
Claim 5'4".
5'4".
Men do it all the time.
5'4". It's so true.
I'm 6'2". Sir, you are 5'8".
It's so true. Have you seen that meme on social media that's like, I went on a date with a guy that said he was 6 foot, and apparently I didn't realize I'm also 6 foot.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway, it's true. I am a smaller person. I am almost 5'4". And I have always been little. Before I had babies, I was teeny, tiny, skinny, 100 pounds.
That's so little.
As a full-grown
Russell
adult.
is bigger than that.
Yes.
He's 14.
So I felt like I had a little girl's body. I felt more like I had a woman's body when I had babies.
You had a human inside of you?
Yeah, when I had a human inside of me and I was growing one and birthing one, and I had a belly and boobs, and I felt I had more.
Do you miss your pregnant boobs?
Oh, yeah.
I miss my pregnant boobs.
I do.
They're so good.
They're voluptuous.
They're so good.
They are. Pregnant boobs are awesome.
Not everybody loves their pregnant boobs. I guess I think that's the thing with preferences and what you like about your body. Not everybody likes their pregnant boobs.
I did not know that.
I loved them. As soon as I stopped nursing, I was like, wait a minute, come back. Where'd you go?
What? And rude.
That's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then after I had babies, I didn't even really recognize myself anymore.
Really?
I still felt like I had a little girl's body to an extent. And in my marriage, there were comments made.
Why do they have to do that?
There were comments made about my body, which that is
not okay.
That is insane. I'm the one who grew the child and birthed the child and fed the child and kept the child alive. You have no right to comment on my body.
What did he say? None. Are you willing to share what he said?
None.
Or just an idea of what he would say?
Just ideas and comments of how it had changed, or things that were softer, or
good land
stretch marks, or
you mean your lion stripes? What are not lion? What are they?
Tiger
stripes?
Yeah, Jacob one time saw
Did he call them that?
He goes,
I love it.
"You gonna fight with a tiger?" And I was like,
"Yes, I did.
Obviously."
Yes,
and I won. The end.
No, I heard them. You finish, and we'll talk about mine later.
And so there was a lot of infidelity in my marriage, not from me. Just to put that out there.
We're opening up here.
And that also fed into my body image of like, I have to look a certain way. I have to get myself better looking. I need to be more toned. I need to lose fat. Which was ridiculous because I've never been overweight. I've never,
right.
But it doesn't matter.
Your 2% body fat was not good enough.
Right.
For him.
It didn't matter. And so, I have grown and healed and changed that a whole lot. And I have definitely been on a different journey throughout that since the last, 7-8 years.
Okay.
Where I have consistently trained and eaten well and things like that. And I feel like I look healthy. I like my body. I have muscles, but I still, even now, even today, there are parts of me that I wish were bigger.
That really surprises me because as a bigger girl, like just frame wise, I'm like, all women want to be tiny. And you're like, no.
Right. But my 17-year-old, she's bigger than me.
Yeah.
She weighs more than me. She's bigger boned than me.
But I didn't know that was something that was a problem. Like we would tease about it. And now I'm wondering that the teasing may have hurt your feelings. And now I feel bad.
No.
And that's not the point to make me feel better. I'm just like, I like that this conversation came up because now I'm more aware, like, I'm like, oh, you're just so tiny, you're just a little, that may hurt your feelings. I
wish I had a little more in areas. I wish I was a little more curvy. I wish I was a little more voluptuous in certain places. I don't hate the way I look. I don't look in the mirror and point out the things that I don't like, but I definitely still struggle sometimes with going, you're still little.
So do you still view yourself in a little girl's body?
No.
Okay.
Does
that come from healing?
And growing muscles. Yes.
You're like, 10-year-olds don't have muscles like this.
Healing and growing muscles, and I'm strong. I like being strong.
Yeah.
But throughout my training too, like, if I could pick anything, like I wish my body type was more like a power lifter.
Okay.
Versus being, I look more lean than a power lifter.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
That's what that means to me. I wish there was just more. I don't know.
You could bulk. You wish you could bulk more.
Yes. I wish I could bulk more. And no matter what I do or eat or like it's not.
You've got on what you got.
Not in the cards for me.
Okay. So you're just learning to be happy with what God gave you.
Yeah, absolutely. So for all the smaller women out there, like I get it. I get you. It's different.
It's such an interesting perspective because as someone who does carry more weight than I would like, I never would have thought a leaner woman would not like her body. That doesn't compute in my head.
Right.
Hearing why makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah. And I would never tell a woman like, you don't get to feel bad about your body. Like that's awful. But I love being vulnerable and opening up about these conversations and learning that we're all going through hard stuff.
Yeah.
Like that just because I want what you have doesn't mean that you are happy with 100% of what you have. But at the end of the day, what I want to come across in this episode is the power that we have behind that. You can change your body to a certain point, but then at a certain point you can't.
Right. And I can look at you and your body and go, I wish that mine was a little bit more like yours.
Which blows my mind. But that's healing.
Right.
It's healing, but I love that you're at a healthy space with it.
Yeah, I think I am. It's, it's something, I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it.
But you don't dwell on it.
I don't dwell on it, but it's a thought that comes to me.
And that's the part that stinks is I'm 5'8", and I've got a bigger build, just like my bone structure is bigger. And then I carry weight. I have to work hard on not carrying fat or inflammation or whatever. And it's not my favorite because it takes 2 meals of me not eating well. And I'm like, oh, there it is. Found it.
Well, you also have grout, so.
I also have grout. I freaking hate grout. It's everywhere now. Have I told you?
Oh.
My elbow, my wrists, my thumb, and my ankle still.
We're talking about
Gout.
I had to think about it. I was like, hold on. We were talking about gout. We're not idiots. We know it's called gout.
As we both had to pause to think about what it's actually called.
I know. But how did we get?
Because I couldn't remember that it was, I kept calling it. I was like, it's not grout. It's something else.
So now it's known as
But then
grout.
it feels like, so grout is that stuff that you put between tile, and it's a sandy concrete.
Yeah.
But that's what it feels like in my joints. So that's why we went with it.
Ooh.
And so even my doctor now will call it. He's like, how's the grout? I'm all grouty.
Is your grout sealed?
That's probably I want to unseal it so it goes away.
Right.
Okay, so I'm 5'8", and at my heaviest I was 200 pounds, and so I can hold some weight. And after
You also had ginormous babies.
oh my
Holy
gosh,
cow.
so big.
What was your smallest baby?
I think Russell was 8.5 pounds. What was your smallest baby?
5 pounds, 15 ounces.
What was your biggest baby? 5 pounds, 16 ounces.
6 pounds, 7 ounces.
Okay, Carter was like 2 ounces shy of 10 pounds.
Right. You had ginormous babies.
It also don't stop growing. It came out and just exploded.
Yeah.
So compared to you, like I'm a bigger girl, and I've always struggled with weight. Now, granted, that's perspective, because I look back at high school Gina, I'm like, oh, what I wouldn't give for that body. You know what I mean? But I struggle with it. And so yesterday I ended up having kind of a bad day. I'm about to start my period, which I retain a lot of water weight, or I don't know what.
So annoying, so rude.
I don't know what it is, but also with gout, whatever. I don't know with that, but with what I'm finding out with my gout is that I do hold a lot of inflammation. So from meal to meal, I could look like I've gained 10 pounds from meal to meal.
Mm-hmm.
And with weight training and stuff, it has mostly come off of my arms and my legs. So my arms and my legs look fine, but my stomach and my hips hold it. And I don't like how it's held. It's not smooth, it's lumpy. And so I get real self-conscious. So I have had moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, you've got the flat stomach. This is great. I've never had like a crazy fat stomach. My abs are still well covered. Like I have abs. They're just covered with fat or inflammation. We're going to call it inflammation. It sounds better.
Which is the majority of women.
Oh, good.
Most people don't have abs that show.
And I guess we're not supposed to.
No.
Okay, so let me back up, because I've got a lot of thoughts running through my head. My squirrely brain is showing. So we went camping. I haven't trained because I haven't slept. So my body is definitely reverting away from where I like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday was just an exceptionally hard day because, again, I'm about to start my period. So we are then retaining water weight or whatever happens. And what is it? Bloating?
Yes.
It makes me sound like a whale.
It's so rude.
It's a rude name.
Which is funny because on the other side, when I am bloated and I'm going to start my period, it's the only time I see numbers on the scale I like.
So we live way too different lives.
I know.
Anyway, I got to move on with this. I'm getting so caught up. And anyway, so it started messing with my head. It started getting in my, thoughts got in my head, and I do feel like I have a form of body dysmorphia. It's not a hard case of it, but it's like I automatically see my stomach getting a little bit bigger or a little bit inflammation in certain places, and I automatically see 200-pound Gina again. Automatically.
Yeah.
Which is not it at all. Because then as I'm combating this, and I've been doing this for years, especially since I've been weight training, I'm able to have victories.
Okay.
And so I want to hold on to those and be like, no, your body's amazing. And I also go back as far as you brought 4 babies into this world, like you were saying, 4 babies in this world, and I fed you all for 10 years with my body. This is an amazing body.
Yes.
And it looks amazing. So I actually have never had a hard time with my stretch marks because that's what brought my babies in. Cellulite, on the other hand, have a hard time with. My love handles, hate that. And so I don't have confidence. I cover up. I wear really loose fitting clothes and I look sad. And I don't like that. I don't want to be there. And so because I'm either, I like my body, or I'm 200 pounds and there's no in between, it's a mind game. It's 100% a mind game. And so what I've been doing is I've been speaking out loud to this, because the truth comes out better when you say it out loud. Because as I'm saying it, I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm not that hard on myself, but I just sit there and I'm going, no, I lift up my shirt. I'm like, this stomach is amazing. This is a great stomach. Yes. This is not the 200-pound Gina, because a lot of the 200-pound Gina is more of the sadness of that time of my life and less of this is a bad number or this is not a good look.
Right.
It's more of what that represents in the sadness of who I was. And I'm terrified to go back there. With dating, with finances, with my relationship with my kids, with isolating myself when I'm having a hard time, all of it terrifies me that I'm going to fall back into that life.
Right.
So yesterday was a day where I was just like, I don't like it. And so I actually went to extreme measures of taking spicy pictures so I could love my body.
Ooh la la.
It a little bit went the opposite direction. But it's because it's a mind game. I made that decision. I was like, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, you're beautiful. This body is beautiful. These pictures are sexy. You're great.
Yeah.
It doesn't look any different, but I get to decide. And it's a lot of freaking work. And I don't like body dysmorphia because it fucks with my head, and I don't love that. It feels out of control. And I don't want to feel out of control. And so what I love, I think the thing that helps me the most is having, one, you and I talk about accepting compliments.
Yes.
And holding on to that. And so remembering that, well, first of all, I need to be the one that shines the brightest with my compliments. I need to say nice things about myself.
Yes.
2, go to the people who are going to be honest and true and kind and loving, like people that I trust them. And 3 is speaking it out loud, because as soon as you say it out loud, half the time you're like, that's not true.
Because you're bringing it into the light, and darkness and lies can't exist in the light.
Yep. And me loving my body, no matter what it looks like, is a choice I get to make. And so we can celebrate that my body, I get to have periods, which means that my body's working the way it should be, and I'm not in menopause. We're going to celebrate that. And I'm not pregnant. We're not even going to go into that. Right, because that's rude. That we even have to do that. So I want to try, I don't want to do toxic positivity, but I want to find the positives in that and remind myself that this is an amazing body. I have come a long way. The numbers on the scale may not be what I want them to be, but I always have to remember, I have significantly more muscle than I did when I was 200 pounds. Significantly more. I have 0 then. It's way more now. Yeah. And I need to find the beauty that I know is there. Anyway, it's just what it is. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of brain work, but I need to practice it more, because I think the more you practice, it's like a muscle. Yeah. It's going to come naturally, and it's going to happen less, and I'm going to be like, it's fine. And then I have to take action and go, okay, get back in the gym. Not that I don't want to be there, honestly. I'm like, why do I have to work? This is dumb. Yeah. I would rather be
really in the gym. Why can we not get paid for working out again?
I know. A lot of people do.
Well, I'm sure we could if we did it in bikinis and put it on a website that we won't mention right now.
Being moral sucks sometimes. My bank account is not reflecting what it should be.
I mean, high morals and standards really sometimes limits fun. But on this subject, something that you and I haven't talked about yet, I really I've been wanting to dive more into my feminine divinity. Yeah. And celebrate that. The fact that God created us to be women, and we get to be life bearers, we get to hold life inside of us and bring life in this world, I think is crazy cool and such a miracle. And so I haven't done anything yet, but I just have this idea of I really want to dive more into that. I don't want to be, oh my God, my period's here again every single month.
Get that negativity out of there.
Get that negativity out, because what God has given me and the way He's created my body to be that divine feminine, I want to celebrate that, and I really want to dig into that more. So
I will happily join that journey, because I do think the fact that we can create life, that's the closest we can get to being godlike. Yeah, to creating life. And what an amazing gift we get to have, and we get to do it. I think one of my favorite things about learning about femininity is learning how soft and how sensual and how special we are, at the same time being absolutely the strongest things on the planet. That's the part that blows my mind.
I love that. I love that so much.
So yeah, I want to embrace my body. I want to love my body, and I think that that's a good place. That's a good next step to start doing.
I feel like that's a good place for us to start, because it doesn't have anything to do with the physical per se. Yeah. But just embracing that feminine, divine of this is, God created us this way, and we get to be fun and happy and light, and we get to bring joy and color and all of these things. And at the same time, at the same time, our bodies also teach us that we can shed old things and old patterns and start anew.
Look at you, shed.
I know. See, did you get it?
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm following.
Okay.
No, I love this idea. I love that.
I just think there's something there that I want to dig more into.
No, I think that is that feels really like a great direction that I need to take, because I feel like I need to step more into my feminine.
Yeah.
And you and I are trying to do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a good place to celebrate our bodies and to celebrate womanhood in that way, instead of looking at like, oh my gosh, this sucks. It's like, we get to do some of the most amazing things.
Yeah, we really do.
And that's awesome. And I think I do focus, and I have focused too much on the negativity of what us women have to go through, and not to downplay that we've got it rough.
For sure.
We get the short of the stick a lot, but I trust God, and I trust His plan, and I trust His creation. So there's got to be why not celebrate those things that He gave us?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that.
I love that.
Okay.
So we will we'll dive more into that and figure out what we want to do there, and then we'll have to update on another episode.
Well, we already started, because we started getting pedicures every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
All 2 times we've done it.
I know.
But honestly, we're just paying to go sit in the massage chairs. It's fine.
It's true. Oh, I love those.
Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, do we need to get our toes done again? Right? Is it time?
Has it been 6 weeks?
Like, it's been 1. I was like, oh.
Dang it.
But, okay, so we'll report back on that then.
I love that.
Okay. What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for... There's so many things I could pick from right now.
Well, never mind.
I'm grateful that you and I have the kind of relationship where we can come and talk about really anything with each other, right? That we can come to it and talk about body dysmorphia, and that while you feel very differently and go through it very differently than I do, you hold the space for me to be able to say the things that I need to say, because I feel like, as a smaller woman, in the way that I have seen things and handled things in this area, like, I'm not allowed to say anything because I'm smaller.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to have these feelings. I'm not allowed to say anything. So I'm thankful that you hold the space for that. And I'm thankful that you can come to me and tell me that sometimes my body type makes you insecure.
Yeah. I obviously don't blame you.
No.
It's media, and the fact that I feel like men want your body type, and I need to rewrite that story.
But the fact that we have the kind of relationship where you can say that to me, where it doesn't, I know it has nothing to do with me in the end, so it doesn't invoke any emotions or feelings for me, other than, like, I can just hold space for you.
Yeah. Well, and I think
that takes a lot of maturity and self-awareness to have a relationship like that.
Look at us.
We're just amazing. I'm just thankful for us, and we're freaking amazing. The end. I'm kidding. You can go. It's fine.
I get no gratitude. I get it. It's fine. I am grateful. I'm going to kind of piggyback on that one, because I am actually really grateful that you chose to be vulnerable and share, so that I could have a perspective that it helps me be okay with my body, because if you have a hard time with your body, then it's okay for me to have a hard time with mine.
Okay.
Which I know sounds weird, but that makes me go, okay, now move on.
Right.
We all have a hard time. Body freaking da.
Right.
Love yourself. Somebody else is going to love your body too. It doesn't matter.
Because I think one of Satan's tactics is to make you feel like you're the only person in the world that feels this way or struggles with this.
Isolation, for sure.
And so it pulls the power away when you're like, you're not special.
Kind of.
You're not special.
You're not special.
Most people deal with this.
No, so I really actually, when you said that in the car on the way here, I was like, really? That is so okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, we will report back on our womanly, what did we call it?
Divine femininity.
But like in
Say
there,
that 5 times.
Nope, not even gonna try. I like the direction of just like embracing, not just being feminine, but like what it means to be a woman. And in the mainly like periods, that's where I'm going with it. I'm just like, I'm gonna be grateful for my period.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll report back on that.
If somebody could send us a list of how to access our divine feminine,
that'd be great.
Just a checklist.
Just a checklist.
Tell us exactly what to do and what order to do it in.
We'll hit it up on Wednesday. Call it done.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Unfiltered Summit Sisters.
Come join us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to get a sneak peek into our lives.
It's beautiful, chaotic, crazy, and fun.
What else would you expect raising 10 kids?
All the links you need are in the show notes.
See you next week.